I think a lot of the response of the Chinese to this virus isn't that they're stepping out and taking over. They're afraid. They're afraid what's done to the economy. They're afraid of their world reputation. They're afraid that somebody might take advantage of them. They're scared. And what this think tank is doing is exploiting that fear. But here's what I will say where they're deadly, where they're right on. They said this is the most anti-American the world has been since Tiananmen Square. And I think that's absolutely true. But the notion that somehow this is going to go to conflict between the United States and China, that's simply ludicrous.
Well, this is the issue. The Chinese are already thinking about what is the world going to look like post-COVID-19. In many ways, the same way Warren Buffett is thinking about it economically, they're thinking politically. They want to make sure that China's position in a variety of supply chains is still going to continue. They want to make sure that people want to buy Chinese goods. They want to increase China's political position, and that can only occur by, to some extent, by taking down the United States.
Well, I think voters across countries observe behavior by the World Health Organization. Can you trust it? They observe behavior and truthfulness out of Beijing. Can you trust them? And the penalty imposed is, do you want to do business with a regime that behaves the way the Communist Party behaves out of China? So if you have a trade deal, if you have exported or outsourced your production, if you're always going for lowest price, and then you find the person giving you the lowest price as a human rights violator, that they use essentially slave labor, subsidizing their currency and the products, serial theft of intellectual property. I mean, it's all consistent, right, in a pattern of behavior. So does a country, the United States, Germany, Great Britain, Australia, whomever, want to do business and provide wealth to that country that gives them that sort of advantage?
In every single state, they already have rules governing absentee or mail-in ballots. And yet Democrats in Congress, for example, have pushed all these bills to change or put in federal mandates when it comes to mail-in ballots that would get rid of the security protocols that are in place to try to prevent that kind of fraud. So why are they doing that? Because they want to make it easier to cheat using absentee ballots.
This is this tendency of those in D.C. to think that we can just have a top-down management style. This virus is infecting communities on vastly different levels. New York City is far different than Columbus, Ohio, where I grew up. And when you have the federal government orchestrating this $2,400 per month that pays people more than they're actually earning on the job, when that lasts for 4 months, in effect, you're pushing for a 4-month shutdown. And I think you're right that some people did intend for that to be the end result. And Congress has a responsibility to fix that, not just for the business owners, but for all of us that are participating in this economy.
When you move very quickly into trying to do something, anything, you're going to get everything but the kitchen sink thrown into it. And so what we have seen in the bailouts, I mean, in the first huge, and what's the right word, historic, the $2 trillion that has been allocated to this. And maybe this will just be the first. There might be more coming down the road. But what you see is not only the targeted help for industries that need some bridge to get over this economic lockdown, but you see all sorts of other things added in there too, because politicians see an opportunity to get the things that they couldn't convince their colleagues or their voters to support under normal times, but they think they can use this as leverage to get it now.
It's more than a failed state. The economic crisis is crushing and enduring. There are prison riots because of the combination of the inability of that government to manage COVID-19, provide food and medicine and water for prisoners. In every direction, you see a failed state. And then Maduro spends most of his time talking about who's attempting to overthrow him.